Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In one of the most humiliating legal defeats of his life, Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown has finally been shamed in court after losing a shocking property case, one that revealed a jaw-dropping twist about a house he gave away years ago. What was once seen as a generous gesture to secure family harmony has now been exposed as a manipulative power move built on a fake deed, an act so bold and reckless it left even the judge speechless. According to court documents leaked through anonymous insiders close to the Brown family, the case centered around a large suburban home in Flagstaff that Kody once gifted to a family member amid one of his many attempts to prove his loyalty, all while his plural marriages unraveled behind closed doors. But now, years later, it's all come crumbling down. The so-called deed Kody signed over was never actually valid. It had no legal transfer authorization, missing county registration, and most damning of all, a forged signature. The courtroom drama unfolded with blazing intensity as Kody's lies were peeled back one by one. He tried to argue it was a misunderstanding, claiming his intention was always to help the family, but the judge wasn't buying it. In fact, legal experts in the room say the judge looked visibly disturbed by Kody's pattern of misusing property rights and manipulating family members into agreements that lacked transparency, equity, or even basic legal standing. The individual Kody gave the house to, believed to be one of his older children or possibly Mary herself, had lived under the false assumption that the property was theirs. They poured money into it, renovated rooms, paid taxes and maintenance, even refinanced part of their life to build equity on what they thought was their home. Only when trying to sell or refinance the property recently did they discover the cold, cruel truth. The house was never legally theirs. They had been duped. Worse, Kody allegedly kept quiet the entire time. And now, that silence has cost him big. The judge ruled in favor of the plaintiff and ordered Kody to pay restitution and cover all legal fees. On top of that, the court slapped Kody with a formal reprimand for filing misleading documentation, citing gross negligence bordering on fraud. And as the news hit the public, Sister Wives fans were left reeling. Not because they were surprised Kody was shady, but because of just how far the deception had gone. Social media exploded with commentary, with thousands calling it karma finally catching up with Kody. Even longtime viewers who had tried to give him the benefit of the doubt said this crossed every imaginable line. He manipulated his family and the system. One viral comment read, "Kody didn't just break hearts, he broke laws." This ruling also sparked renewed outrage over Kody's history of financial decisions that have hurt the women around him, especially Janelle and Christine, who walked away from their marriages to him with little more than the clothes on their backs, while Kody clung to assets and acted like he was broke one day and rich the next. Christine, who now lives happily with David Woolley, subtly reacted on Instagram with a cryptic post, a quote that read, "What's done in the dark will always come to light." Fans immediately connected it to the case, flooding her comment section with support and applause. Janelle, meanwhile, has remained tight-lipped, but close sources say she was furious when she heard about the fake deed and reportedly called it the final nail in the coffin of trust. What's even more appalling is that this isn't the first time Kody has mismanaged real estate. The Coyote Pass land has been a long-standing point of tension, with accusations that Kody hoarded parcels for himself and Robyn while dangling promises in front of the other wives that never materialized. Now, with this lawsuit shining a spotlight on his shady property dealings, many are wondering what else Kody's hiding. Was this an isolated error, or just the first of many real estate schemes he's pulled over the years? TLC producers have remained silent, but insiders say they're scrambling behind the scenes to decide how, or if, they will address the case on the upcoming season. One insider said, "This lawsuit changes the game. It's going to be hard to keep Kody's image intact." Robyn, as expected, is said to be devastated, not by the injustice, but by the embarrassment. Sources say she was in tears after the ruling, afraid this would make them look bad on national TV. But critics argue she's part of the problem. She benefited from the deception, one fan tweeted. Even if she didn't forge the deed herself, she was complicit in the silence. And as for Mary, some believe she was the real victim in the case. Rumors swirl that she was the one given the gifted home by Kody in a last-ditch attempt to convince her to stay loyal after their relationship had already soured. If true, this would explain her stunned silence and heartbreak in recent years as she quietly moved out, gave up on their shared dream of Coyote Pass, and launched her own independent ventures in Utah. In the wake of the case, real estate attorneys are warning other families about similar pitfalls. When a deed is fake, you have nothing, one legal analyst explained on a viral TikTok breakdown. You might think you own your home, but if it's not legally transferred, it's just words on paper. Kody Brown's case is a cautionary tale for every blended family managing property. Fans of Sister Wives are now demanding accountability. Some are petitioning TLC to issue a formal statement or even suspend the show until all property matters are cleared up. Others are urging Mary, Janelle, and Christine to band together and pursue a full audit of Kody's financial dealings from the last decade. He's been living like a king while the women who built his empire got scraps, one fan wrote. And maybe the most stinging blow of all? The family that once claimed to be built on faith, unity, and divine order now stands at the center of a legal scandal that undermines every value they once preached. Kody's carefully crafted image, father, husband, provider, has cracked wide open. He didn't just lose a case. He lost face. He lost trust. And in the eyes of many, he lost what little moral credibility he had left. What remains to be seen is how he'll recover from this, if at all. Will he retreat into silence with Robyn by his side, blaming the world for not understanding his intentions? Or will this mark the beginning of more secrets unraveling, more lies exposed, and a final reckoning for a man who once said he had it all figured out? Because from where the rest of the world is standing, it sure looks like the king of Coyote Pass just got evicted from his own throne, and he's got no one to blame but himself. Finally, Kody shamed after losing property case. The house that gave everything was built on a fake deed. Face screaming in fear, derelict house collision. The walls have finally crumbled around Kody Brown, both literally and figuratively, after a devastating court decision revealed the unthinkable. The house he bragged about, fought for, and supposedly gifted to one of his wives was actually tied to a fraudulent deed, and the court has now ruled against him in humiliating fashion. The ruling didn't just cost him the property. It exposed years of deception, manipulation, and shady backdoor deals that even Sister Wives producers reportedly didn't know about. For years, fans were told that Kody was the master planner behind the Flagstaff move, a man committed to building one big home for one big family. But now, it's all come crashing down, because the house Kody claimed he gave everything for legally didn't even belong to him, and the truth is sending shockwaves through the entire Brown family and beyond. It all started when a quiet civil suit, buried in county court dockets, was suddenly made public by a whistleblower who claimed that Kody submitted false paperwork to secure the land deal tied to one of the Flagstaff homes. According to legal records and sworn testimony, the deed Kody presented as proof of ownership was never properly registered with the state and, even more shocking, bore the forged signature of a notary who had died 2 years prior. Court documents now reveal that Kody allegedly forged this document himself in an effort to gain leverage over a looming foreclosure and attempted to present the fraudulent deed during mediation to prevent the home from being repossessed. The judge didn't just reject the documents. He tore them apart in court, calling the act blatantly deceptive and publicly shaming Kody in front of his legal team, ex-wives, and media who had gathered for the verdict. According to a source inside the courtroom, the judge said, "This is not just a case of clerical error. This is a deliberate act of misrepresentation, and this court will not tolerate fraud masquerading as faith-based family planning." And just like that, Kody lost the last remaining Brown family property he claimed as his own. Even worse, the house in question was the same one he tearfully told cameras he had gifted to Robyn as a symbol of eternal loyalty and security. But as the truth unraveled, it became horrifyingly clear that Kody never fully owned that house to begin with. The land was purchased under an LLC tied to Christine and Janelle, and Robin's name was never legally added to any title. What was supposed to be a secure home for the children Robin raised with Kody is now up for public auction, with the proceeds likely going to debt collectors, unpaid property taxes, and the legal fees amassed during Kody's desperate fight to keep the house. When Robin heard the news, she reportedly collapsed in sobs, screaming at Kody, "You lied. You lied to me about everything." According to insiders, Robin had no idea the deed was forged and believed the property was legally theirs. But Kody, in what sources call a last-ditch ego move, continued to assure her that God would fix it. Well, God didn't, and now the Flagstaff community is buzzing with gossip about how the once proud polygamist patriarch has been reduced to squatting in rental homes, using borrowed vehicles and begging former allies to help him rebuild what the devil stole. Meanwhile, Christine and Janelle are reportedly furious, not just about the legal fraud, but about the emotional manipulation Kody used to justify it. Both women were called to testify during the proceedings, and Christine dropped a bombshell on the stand, stating that Kody told her directly, "Robin needs this house more than you do. I'll make it right later." Janelle, ever the calm presence, provided detailed financial records showing how her contributions were used to float mortgage payments for the house, even while Kody told her they were all spiritually invested and that money didn't matter in a family built on God. This revelation sent fans into a frenzy. Social media exploded with hashtags like #KodyExposed, #FakeDDrama, and #JusticeForTheWives, with millions now calling for TLC to end the show permanently or pivot it entirely around the women moving on from Kody's lies. And the network is reportedly in emergency meetings, unsure of how to continue when their leading man is now a confirmed fraud in court records. One executive said privately, "We knew the drama was real. We didn't know the legal risks were this high." And the shame doesn't stop there. Local news outlets in Flagstaff have now picked up the story, with headlines reading, "Reality star loses home in deed scandal," and "Kody Brown's empire crumbles after courtroom bombshell." Neighbors have begun gossiping publicly, with one former family friend telling reporters, "We always knew something was off. He treated this town like it was his kingdom, but now we see the emperor had no deed." Even more devastating, the ruling opens the door to criminal investigation, with the court suggesting that Kody may face charges of property fraud and document falsification. Legal analysts say that if the DA pursues the case, Kody could be looking at fines, a possible felony charge, and complete financial collapse, especially if Janelle and Christine choose to pursue damages for misappropriated funds. Robin, now at her emotional breaking point, is reportedly considering legal separation, not for betrayal this time, but to protect herself from being financially and legally tied to Kody's mess. She's already consulted with an attorney, according to close family friends, and was heard saying through tears, "If he forged that deed, what else did he lie about? Was any of it real?" Meanwhile, Kody has gone completely silent online, and sources say he is now in hiding, refusing to answer calls from TLC, Robin, or even some of his older children. Paydon went live on TikTok just hours after the ruling, laughing and saying, "Told y'all. That house wasn't even his. Dad's finally getting what he earned." Gwendolyn, too, posted a reaction video, sipping tea with the caption, "Fake house. Fake deed. Real karma." And yet, in the midst of this chaos, Christine and Janelle are finding peace. Christine, now thriving in her new marriage, has said she feels vindicated, while Janelle told a friend, "It hurts, yes. But it's freeing to know the truth is finally out. He built that house on lies, and now it's dust." TLC insiders are now prepping a special 2-hour exposé called "The House That Wasn't Real: The Brown Property Scandal," featuring exclusive footage from the courtroom, never-before-seen reactions from the wives, and legal analysis of how one man's spiritual empire turned into a blueprint for betrayal. Because in the end, Kody Brown didn't just lose a house. He lost his last shred of credibility. And the man who once claimed to lead with love and faith is now just another name in a court file marked "property fraud," dismissed with shame.